Have you ever found yourself stuck in a constant cycle of chasing after material possessions, wealth, or the next big thing, thinking that it will bring you true happiness? If you have, then you're not alone. For a long time, I really believed that true happiness was tied with material possessions, and then I have to always be chasing after wealth, achievements, or the next big thing if I have to be truly happy in my life. I was really convinced that only life's luxuries could provide you happiness, and then it was really necessary to constantly strive for more and more if I have to be truly content in my life. I started to question this belief when I realized that constantly chasing after material possessions was not the key to my happiness. In fact, it was often a hindrance to my happiness. It led me feeling even more stressed out and anxious than before. It wasn't until I began leading a more mindful life that I started to see the light. As I continued my journey towards a more mindful life, I began to realize how much I had been missing out by constantly chasing material possessions. I had been so consumed with the idea that happiness could only be found in the next big purchase or achievement that I had neglected to appreciate the little moments that really made my life fulfilling. For me, it's the small things in life like spending quality time with my friends and family, enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning, creating something meaningful, and looking out at the window at the beauty of nature. These simple pleasures are what make me feel alive and fulfilled. They bring me joy every single day. One aspect of my journey towards finding true happiness was learning to let go of the past and forgive. I used to hold grudges and dwell on the past mistakes, but I realized that this was only holding me back from finding true happiness. It's not easy to forgive and let go, but it's necessary for our own peace of mind and well being. Holding on to negative emotions only leads to stress, anxiety, and resentment, which often hinders your path to achieving true fulfillment in life. One other thing that I discovered in my journey of finding true fulfillment was the importance of practicing self care. It is so important to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, especially in today's fast paced world where stress and anxiety are all too common. We are pretty much always expected to run behind achieving new things, whether personally or professionally. Taking care of ourselves can mean different things to different people, and it's important to find out what works best for you. It might mean taking a relaxing bath or getting a massage, while for others, it might mean engaging in a creative activity like painting or playing an instrument. Whatever it is that helps you feel rejuvenated and refreshed, make sure to prioritize that. One thing that has been particularly helpful for me in my journey towards finding true fulfillment in life is practicing mindfulness. Now, as I mentioned before, mindfulness is really the practice of being present in the moment with yourself without any judgment. It's also about tuning into our own thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting caught up in them. Through mindfulness, I've been able to develop a greater sense of self awareness, which has helped me tremendously to identify my own negative thought processes, patterns, and behaviors that were holding me back from experiencing true happiness. By being more present in the moment, I've been able to appreciate the simple things that brings me joy, like a beautiful coffee mug or a warm hug from a loved one. It could be anything. It could be as simple as just looking out at the window, looking at children playing in the garden, or even just looking at the beautiful sky in the morning. But I realized that these simple things are truly what matters to me the most. Another aspect of mindfulness that has been quite helpful for me is learning to cultivate a sense of gratitude. It's so easy to get caught up in the negative aspects of life, but by focusing on the things that we are grateful for, we can shift our perspective and find more joy and happiness in our lives. One exercise that has been particularly helpful for me is to try writing down a few things that I'm grateful for each day. It can be something as simple as a warm meal or a kind word from a friend. But by taking the time to acknowledge and appreciate these things, I've been able to cultivate a greater sense of gratitude and happiness in my life. Throughout my journey towards finding more happiness, I've also come to realize the importance of giving back to others. When we help others, we not only make a positive impact in their lives, but we also experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose that cannot be found through material possessions or achievements. Now, whether it's volunteering at a local charity, helping a friend in need, or simply showing kindness and compassion to those around us, now giving back is an important part of experiencing true happiness. It helps us to connect with others and make a positive impact in the world, which can be incredibly fulfilling and rewarding. Oftentimes, when we think about giving back to others, big things such as donation or volunteering every week often comes to mind. Now, I'm not saying that these are the only ways that you can really give back to the society or people around you. It could really be as simple as checking up on your friends once in a while, or maybe just donating something that you don't really need anymore to your house help or to someone that you know would be in need of that. It could be really simple, but again, it can really make you feel happy. But more than that, it's gonna make a really big impact on the life of somebody that you're really giving back to. It's not until I started to live a more mindful and more present life in general that I decided to notice how much I've really missed out by my constant chase towards the next big thing. I remember one particular morning when I was sitting in the balcony enjoying a cup of coffee, watching the birds fly overhead. It was a moment of pure bliss, and I suddenly realized how much I had taken things for granted in my life. I had been so focused on the future, on the next big thing, that I had forgotten to be present in the moment and appreciate the beauty around me. It wasn't until I started living more mindfully that I realized happiness doesn't come from the things that we own or the titles that we hold. For me, it's the little moments of solitude that bring me the most joy. Like feeling a warm cup of tea in my hand as I read a book to myself, or the sound of birds chirping as I take a walk in the park. It's really these small little things that brings me the true happiness in my life. I remember another morning when I woke up early and went outside to look at the sky. The sun was just starting to rise and the sky was painted in soft shades of pink and orange. In that moment, I felt so much peace and contentment just being alone with my thoughts and taking the beauty of the world around me. That one simple moment brought me more happiness than any material possession ever had. Now, of course, my journey towards finding true happiness is not over, and I think it will never be. And I still face challenges and setbacks along the way because ultimately we still live in a society that really encourages running behind material possessions, wealth, titles, and achievements. But I've come to realize that happiness is not something that can be achieved overnight. It's really a daily practice that requires us to prioritize our own mental and emotional well being and make choices that aligns with our own beliefs and values in life. I want to emphasize that finding true happiness is not a one size fits all process. What works for one person may not work for another. We are all unique, and our journeys towards happiness will be quite unique as well. It's important to experiment with different practices and find what resonates with us personally. Now, whether that's meditation, spending time in nature, volunteering, or engaging in a creative activity, find what brings you joy and fulfillment. Don't let anybody else define what happiness should mean to you. My own journey towards finding true happiness has been quite long and challenging one, but it's also been incredibly rewarding. Through mindfulness, self-care, gratitude, giving back to the society, I've been trying to shift my focus from external achievements to internal growth and self-improvement. I've come to realize that true happiness isn't something that can be found through material possessions or achievements, but rather it's something that comes from within us. By focusing on the simple things in life that brings us joy and practicing self-care and mindfulness, we can cultivate a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment in our own lives. So, if you're feeling like something is missing in your life, take a step back and reflect on what truly matters to you. Embrace the simple pleasures in life, practice self care, and give back to others in whatever way that you can. Through these practices, you too can find true happiness and fulfillment in your life, and we can all be in this journey together. Now, of course, while we are on this path to finding true happiness, whatever that may mean for you, there's always going to be those moments which will also feel quite low for us. But the point is that just recognizing what truly aligns with your definition of happiness is quite important, so that you can really just stop running behind things, thinking that when you do achieve that, it will bring you happiness. Always remember that happiness is a journey, it's not a destination. And it's up to us to make the most of it every day. And that concludes our video on finding true happiness within ourselves. I hope you found it insightful and inspiring. I hope this video has given you some valuable insights and ideas to ponder. Remember, every journey starts with a single step. So take that step today towards your own happiness, no matter how small it may seem. As you go about your day, I encourage you to take a moment and ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Keep asking yourself this question and take action on the answer every day. Before you know it, you'll be well on your way to living the life that you truly want and desire. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.